Good evening, gentlemen. I've shortened it gentlemen because it turns out our demographic is 100% male. We are back with our, welcome to Brothers in Gaming. First and foremost, we are back with our Madden 15 franchise with the San Diego Chargers. And today we're taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're at home, and we're coming off a really good victory against the Buffalo Bills last week, in which we put up a ton of points on offense, 35 in fact. Rivers threw 4 touchdowns. But that's not to say the Jaguars haven't had some success of their own. Excuse me, I can barely talk. They're coming off a game as well, in which they beat the Indianapolis Colts of all teams, eking out a victory there. So they're 1-2 and we're 2-1, so both teams coming in with some pretty good momentum here. So, I'd like to say it's going to be competitive, but we're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, Jags fans, just how it is. So we see Rivers' stats here. He's having a pretty average year for a quarterback of his talent, quite frankly. 8-4 is not what you want, and 69% completion rating. Not what I'd want in my quarterback, but there we go. This offensive line has been struggling, and we're going to see if these struggles continue. We're going to start with a run play to Melvin Gordon here. He picks probably the wrong gap when he gets tackled for a 3-yard loss. So talking of this offensive line, they've really struggled to open up any holes in the running game, and have actually been quite poor in the pass protection as well, which has meant Philip Rivers is having to do a lot of his own back, and he's making some mistakes. However, he doesn't make a mistake here as he goes to Antonio Gates, who makes a nice juke move and gets a huge gain on 2nd and 13. And that's where we want to have our passing game, a 40-yard gain from one pass. So things looking good so far. Melvin Gordon, and as usual, there's nowhere for him to go. Gordon really struggled last week against the really good Buffalo's line, but should have more success against this line, which seems to be a lot weaker. As you see some pieces in place there, specifically Jonathan Cyprian, who's an up-and-coming strong safety, and Dante Fowler, who is the first overall pick for this team. 3rd overall, in fact. But anyway, Rivers now, he's going to drop back and he's going to launch it to Malcolm Floyd, who gets open again, and we are carving up this secondary. That's 2 passes for 63 yards in the first drive for the Chargers. So, looks like this is going to be a blowout like we expected. Under center now, he hands off to Gordon, who finds a little bit more room here, but still not a lot. Really struggling to open up any gaps for the poor guy, which has been the story of the season so far. Oliver now is going to bounce it outside. He somehow slips on his own offensive lineman, but makes 9 yards. Probably could have been a touchdown though. Play fake here. Rivers, he's going to drop. He's going to look, and that's a terrible pass. Telvin Smith, the outside linebacker, just lurking underneath that pattern, and the Chargers come away with nothing. So Balls in his 2nd year comes onto the field now. He's not doing too badly for his 2nd year. I mean, 4-4 is not great, but then you look at the pieces around him, it's not exactly a high-powered squad. But we'll see how he fares. So he's going to hand off to Lex Hillard, and he's going to go for a 3-yard gain. Hilliard, I apologise. This offensive line, much like our own, is probably struggling quite a lot and hasn't got many pieces on it. But there are some good receivers on this squad. They've also got Julius Thomas, who's a big play receiving threat. And there's Mercedes Lewis, who's the 2nd tight end now, after having a great career as their starting tight end for a long time. Marquise Lee now, he fights off one defender, but he's going to get brought down for only a small gain there. Now looking at the Chargers, not a lot has changed, but we have made a change at middle linebacker, putting in Manti Te'o, who's now considered a player to watch, after Denzel Perryman didn't really make much of an impact on our first couple of games. We decided to give Manti Te'o, who's got a couple more years, a bit more of a go, and we'll see what he can do for the squad, see if it pays any dividends in the long run. So TJ Yeldon, the rookie, 2nd round pick, he's going to be starting at running back today, and he's already got a couple of yards on the ground. Ball's going to drop back on 3rd and 6. He's going to throw it right over the head of Julius Thomas, I believe, and that's going to be a 3 and out. So this defense, which has done a pretty good job throughout the year so far, is going to force another punt as usual, and Tevin Reese is going to receive it. And we only show you these plays for one reason. Tevin Reese is going to cut right. Look at the room! Look at the room for him. He's only got the punter to beat, and Pat Anger makes the tackle. Good grief, Tevin Reese. Really, you couldn't make the last guy miss. That is a shame. So the Chargers go back on offense now. Melvin Gordon's going to take the ball, and he's not going to get anywhere on that play. Still yet to pick up any positive yardage on the ground. So terrible start for the running game as per usual, but we're going to go back to it again. He makes some yards this time, and that's going to be his first positive run of the game. He is now 5 for 5 with a 1-yard average. Maths, ladies and gentlemen. But here he's going to take a ball on a screen play, and he's going to make a nice cut, and that's going to get some yardage. So not all is lost with Melvin Gordon yet. He still has some definite receiving talent which we could exploit, hopefully. But we're going to go to the ground again on the draw play, and that's a nice pick up there with a blocking seemed to be a little better that time, but Still not the holes you'd like to see for your first round running back. Oliver's going to take the ball this time, and he's nearly going to get the first down, but it's going to be brought down short. 3rd and 1. Oliver in the backfield again. Allen in motion. He's going to get the ball again, and there we go. There's a first down. Why does the offensive line block when Oliver's on the field? I'm not sure. We'll have to work that one out. Anyway, tight end John Phillips comes in motion, and Gordon's going to get the play, and he's going to run. He's going to get brought down at the 1 yard line. So close. Some great blocking there, but he can't quite get there. So Rivers is going to go into center now. Allen in motion again, and he's going to toss play to Melvin Gordon. He gets nowhere. That play was blown up by Demetrius McCray, the third year corner. Excuse me. And now there's going to be a flag as Ramon Hayward gets a false start penalty, and that's going to drop us back 10 yards. As in, we're going to be on the 10-yard line. You know what I mean. People who watch American football understand. I'm a Brit. What do I know? Anyway, Rivers dropping back. He's got time. He's going to look, but the pressure's coming, and he throws it out of bounds because, quite frankly, everyone was covered up. But the pass protection was better that time, so we get another chance on 3rd and goal. 10 yards to go. Rivers, he throws it, and there's Stevie Johnson. And he's going to get brought down short, so the Chargers have to settle for a field goal. So now, Jaguars back on the field. They get a chance to try and have more success than their last drive. Marquise Lee getting his 2nd catch of the game, and he's going to be inches from the first down. Ball's under center. He's going to hand off to Yeldon, and a great play by Melvin Ingram. Limits the yardage, but they still make a first down, unfortunately, so the drive continues. Ball's under center. It's a draw play to TJ Yeldon, who cuts right, and he's brought down just by Jaleel Adai. He's playing from the strong safety position. One of the positions of weakness on our secondary, I have to admit. Speaking of our secondary, let's have a bit of a talk here. Nice play by Manti Te'o and Jason Verrett. 2 young players making a great play there, which is good to see. You celebrate, young man. You carry on. Manti Te'o making an impact just when we needed him to. As I was saying, let's talk a little bit about this secondary. As you can see, we're not struggling very much in the pass rush as Melvin Ingram gets another sack there. I believe he has nearly 4 on the year or so. Maybe even 5, so he's doing a good job. And the team in general is doing a good job in the pass rush, so we're getting a lot of sacks and everything. Where we have struggled is turnovers. I don't think this team has an interception all season yet, which is really frustrating. There's another bad decision by Phillip Rivers there. I mean, the Jags are back on offense. And that's just something we have to work on. We haven't had anything in the way of turnovers, and we're really struggling to get interceptions, which is strange considering the talent that we have in our secondary. So that's something that really needs to be adjusted before we continue. But now TJ Yeldon back on the run, and a huge run here. A great move on the defender, and well, we're going to be offside, but it's not going to matter. The play is going to stand as called, and they're going to decline the penalty. Melvin Ingram was offside. So we'll wait and see what our defensive coordinator has in mind to be able to possibly create some turnovers and make things a bit easier on our team. Defense can't win every single game on their own. Offense has to, you know, score some points as well, don't forget. But with those turnovers, we can get our offense on the field a lot more. So, you know, bit of both. Need some help from both teams, really, but there we are. Anyway, back to the game. Balls now. He's going to throw it to TJ Yeldon. Somehow he catches that past Melvin Ingram, who had perfect coverage there. Could have easily made an interception, just like I was talking about. But instead, the drive continues. Bortles is moving around in the pocket. Can't see anyone, but he finds Julius Thomas, who just drops the football. That would be a huge game for the Jaguars, but he just has a case of the drops. So now, with 1.5 minutes left in the second quarter, Bortles is in shotgun. Sorry, with Denard Robinson, I believe, to his right. He's going to hand it off to... Oh, no, I believe it might be even Storm Johnson, not Denard Robinson. So Storm Johnson makes no gain there. It's a loss, in fact. Balls now drops back. He's looking around. Pressure is coming, but he stands strong and he delivers it to Jamulius Thomas. Why not? Jamulius Thomas makes a nice reception there this time. He doesn't drop it, so now they're in the red zone. Balls moves around, and he can't find his receiver there. A bit of a miscommunication. So it's second down with just under a minute to go in the half. Balls now drops back. Loads of time. He delivers to Mercedes Lewis, but a nice tackle by Brandon Flowers to hold him up there before he can get to the goal line. So third down now. Balls trying to make something happen, and good coverage there means the ball is forced to nobody. And the Jaguars are just going to settle for a field goal. So just by the end of the half, it's a 3-3 game. which is really not what this Chargers team wanted to see coming into this game. We were expecting a blowout, but never mind. So Rivers now drops back, loads of time, but he has to throw this one away as no one is open, as the screenplay does not work. So 2nd and 10 with just over 30 seconds left. Rivers hands off to Melvin Gordon. He's got some room at the right hand side. Keenan Allen can't hold his block forever, so that's going to be an 8-yard gain. But with 7 seconds left, Rivers is going to give the last handoff of the half to Gordon. And it's going to be short of a first down. And that's going to end the half. So not a great half by either team. Defensive game, certainly. A poor decision by Phillip Rivers means that they're going to be 7 points shorter than they should have been. However, the Chargers are pretty much carrying this game, to be honest. They're up in offense and defense. I can't really get my words out. Oh, but there's nearly a nice play by Melvin Ingram there, but TJ Yeldon shrugs him off and he's going to make something out of nothing. That's an 8-yard gain. He's only got 29 yards so far, so a good job by this defense shutting him down. And a great play here by Donald Butler to meet him in the hole. And that's going to be no gain on that play. So 3rd and 2 balls, hands off to Storm Johnson. And another great stop by the defense, but did he get over the line? I believe that might have been Donald Butler who made first contact there, maybe even Kendall Reyes. So we're going to measure here, see what they say, and they say he got it. I beg to differ, but the officials have measured, and that's the call. So balls now, he's going to look to Marquise Lee, and a great play by Jason Verrett. Awesome coverage. I love this kid. He's really, I'm expecting huge things from him in the future. But now another run by TJ Yeldon. He's going to spin Donald Butler and make him look stupid there and make a really nice gain on the ground. We wanted to really stifle this run game to force Blake Bortles to throw the ball, but so far they're doing a pretty good job. But here comes Blake Bortles on the ground, and some great blocks, and he's going to make a huge gain. 17 yards on the ground on the designed quarterback keeper. So now Bortles has got fresh new position to throw from. He's rolling left, and he's going to take off again, and the block's downfield, and he makes another first down on the ground. God, he's got more rushing yards than the running backs at this rate. He's only ran twice. But now, in shotgun, he delivers to Justin Blackman, who can't make any more yardage as Matt Elam comes up and makes that stop. I'm surprised he's not stoned. Never mind. The ball now delivers to Marquise Lee, and Brett gets picked on that play, and Lee's going to go into the end zone. And the Jags are up 10-3 on the San Diego Chargers at home. This has been an awful display of offense so far by the Chargers, but they're going to try and stick to this run game, and not much to be gained there. So we only make a short gain on the ground again. Rivers handing off to Melvin Gordon again. A bit better blocking this time, and he finds a hole for another 5 yards. Over 15 rushes for the running backs so far. Gordon makes a nice play and gets the first down. Really trying to be stubborn with this run game like they should, the Chargers. Stevie Johnson makes a nice first down play here. But Rivers, 54% completion rate, only 94 yards and a pick. Terrible game so far against this fairly putrid secondary, quite frankly. But anyway, Gates in motion, and Gordon's going to get the ball again, but a terrible block there by number 74. I believe that's DJ Fluker. And we're not going to make anything there. Rivers now, he's going to find Keenan Allen in the zone, and he's going to make his first reception of the game. Should try and utilize him a lot more often. Play fake here. Rivers looks back, pressure coming, he throws, and there's Malcolm Floyd for another big gain. Malcolm Floyd getting some space here in the open field, and that's a nice play there. So another first down. We're coming towards the end of the third quarter. We hand it off to Brandon Oliver, and again, nothing to be gained on that play. This offensive line just really not opening up any holes whatsoever. Rivers now, he drops back and he can't get rid of the football, and it's nearly intercepted. But he's going to get knocked down instead. So 3rd and 11. Rivers looking for something. He finds Jacoby Jones, but he's just short. So on 4th and 1, the Chargers have a decision. Do they go for it or do they kick the field goal? And they're going to go for it. And he hands off David Johnson, and that's a big gain by the fullback. So they convert on 4th down with an 8-yard run by the fullback, trundling forward. Which takes us into the 4th quarter now. Rivers hands it off to Melvin Gordon to start the drive, and as usual, he's tackled for very little gain there. Only 2 trips to the red zone for the Chargers this game, which is pretty awful. But Rivers is going to go play fake here. He's going to roll right. He's got time. He's waiting. Pressure coming, and he throws. And it's picked off by Jonathan Cyprien as he tries to find David Johnson on the sideline. So another poor decision there by the veteran play caller, and TJ Yeldon's going to get a toss here and make a nice gain for the Jaguars as they take the ball on their own 7-yard line. So from their own 7, they go up to the 15. Balls now. It's a draw play to Yeldon, but some very stingy run defense by the Chargers means that he's balled up for a very little gain there. So ball's going to drop back to pass, and he finds Alan Hearns, who just drops the football. So a case of the drops from these Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's going to give the Chargers another chance. And but straight away, Rivers, pressure in his face, didn't see the coverage by Dwayne Gratz, the third-year man even. And well, that's another pick, his 3rd pick of the game. But so, the defense is back on the field to try and make something happen, to get this team out of this hole that they've put themselves into. Or Philip Rivers has put them into, more quite frankly. But TJ Yeldon makes another nice run, and that's another first down. So this defense is getting gassed now, trying to pull this offense out of the hole constantly. And they're just going to stick to the ground game here. TJ Yeldon rips off another big gain. You can see that the Chargers defenders are just getting really tired now, trying to stop this run. Balls now drops back from under center. He has time, but pressure coming, and Melvin Ingram makes his 2nd sack of the game, trying to keep them in this, showing real fire and real heart on defense. Balls under center. He gives the draw play to Storm Johnson, and he doesn't get very far, but makes 4 yards on the play. So 3rd and 10. If the Chargers can stop the Jags here, they have a chance to try and tie up this score. Balls gets it from under shotgun. Atauchu with great pressure, but there's Brandon Flowers. And the Chargers get their 1st pick of the year from Brandon Flowers on an errant pass by Blake Bortles. Credit Atauchu with the pressure there. So Rivers gets another chance. Pressure coming, and he just gets slammed in the backfield. And the ball gets hit, goes to the turf. Rivers is going to roll right this time, and he's going to find no one on that play. So 3rd and 10, Rivers suddenly skittish in the pocket as this pressure has been really on him all day, making some really poor decisions. But 3rd and 10, Rivers is going to dump it off to Antonio Gates, and old faithful Antonio Gates is going to get us the 1st down. Thank goodness. You can see a quarterback comparison here though, and Blake Bortles is pretty much on a par with the veteran Philip Rivers, which is poor to see. So Rivers now, he's going to find Malcolm Floyd. Somehow he threads that ball through that gap. And Malcolm Floyd having a great day so far, helping out his play caller. Rivers now, he dumps it off to Melvin Gordon, who makes a nice gain, 8 yards. Nearly a 1st down. Rivers in the shotgun. Just over 2 minutes to go. He gets to Jacoby Jones, who manages to get the 1st down. So the offense moving now, at least. Looks like they've abandoned the run game at this point, and they're just trying to air the ball out, and rightly so. Jacoby Jones makes another 1st down on that play. Coming up to the 2-minute warning now. Rivers with 5 completions in a row, starting to look more like the Philip Rivers of old. Dumps off to Stevie Johnson, but there's a blatant clip by Antonio Gates, trying to make something happen for his receiver friend, but his receiver friend, I guess, his teammate, I should say. And yeah, so that's a penalty. So that's gonna push us back quite a long way. So you can see the play here, clipping by the offense, and it's going to be 1st and 17 now. Much longer distance to go, and we hit the 2-minute warning now. So with just under 2 minutes to go, Rivers under shotgun, he's going to air it out to Malcolm Floyd, who again finds a hole in this defense. He's just getting open on these long plays all day. Where has this been? You can see Philip Rivers with 3 picks, just over 200 yards. Yardage picking up, but still no touchdown to speak of as of yet. So he drops back and he looks, and there's Antonio Gates, and there's his 1st touchdown of the game. But Gates is shaken up a little bit on the play. He would be able to get to his feet and celebrate with his teammates, as you'll see in a moment, but it turns out he has a bruised sternum and won't be able to... please stop hitting his sternum, Keenan. That's not going to help. But he's unable to return to this game, so Darius Green will be taking over tight end duties. So Blake Bortles now, he has to try and get this team into field goal range. And that's a good way to start with a nice pass to Julius Thomas. They're going to go hurry up here to stop the Chargers having any time to stop them from getting this field goal. Bortles now, he's going to find Julius Thomas again, but we're going to stop him short of the 1st down line, so it's 2nd and inches. They're going to go hurry up again. Chargers making some calls on the defense. Balls and shotgun still. He drops back, pressure coming, but he finds Julius Thomas again, 3rd time in a row. Man up on this guy, for goodness sake. So the Jaguars take their 1st timeout with just under a minute to go in the game. Still 10-all. Ball's hands off to Yeldon. Tried to run out this clock. Charges. Oh, no. Jaguars are going to take their second timeout. Don't know why they would call that play then if they're just going to call another timeout. 2nd and 12 now. Bortles. Hands off to Yeldon, who's got some space to the left. Eric Weddle tries to come in, but they get the first down on a huge running game. And the Chargers completely break down on their coverage there. And they allow TJ Yeldon to run free. They take their first time out of the game. Clay Harbaugh comes in motion. TJ Yeldon gets the call, but doesn't get very far. But they are now well within field goal range. So they make another timeout here. Blake Bortles. Hands off to TJ Yeldon. He goes at the left-hand side and he's nearly there. And he gets the touchdown. And that's an unfortunate touchdown for the Chargers. Make this game 17-10 with very few seconds left in the fourth quarter. So just like that, the Chargers are now down 17-10 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is just awful, quite frankly, with only 39 seconds left. So they're going to receive the kickoff, and generally we only show this if it's a big play or something awful. Tevin Reese cuts left, and he's got loads of room down the sideline. He can't get that last block by David Johnson because he's far too slow. And that means the Rivers will have to go back onto the field. So, 1st and 10. He nearly finds Stevie Johnson, but the ball is underthrown and Stevie Johnson makes no effort to catch it. Rivers now drops back. He's looking around. Pressure coming. And this time he finds the Darius Green, who makes a great catch on the sideline and stops the clock. 23 seconds left. Only one timeout remaining. Rivers in the shotgun. He drops back. He's looking. He throws it deep. And Jacoby Jones can't hang on. This is why he returns kicks. Well, he doesn't even do that anymore because we replaced him, but still. Not built for those kind of catches. Anyway, Rivers now. 2nd and 10. He throws it to Darius Green, who's got some room, and he can't get out of bounds, so they got to burn their last timeout with only 10 seconds left. Field goal ain't going to do it. They've got to get a touchdown now with 10 seconds. Clock's ticking. 8 seconds. He throws it long, and it goes at the back of the end zone. Keenan Allen. So 6 seconds left now. Last play of the game. Can Rivers make miracles happen? He drops back. He throws, and it's picked off by Dwayne Gratz again. Dwayne Gratz's second pick of the game. And what do you know? The Jags beat the Chargers. Who would have thought it? The worst team in the NFL beat our Chargers. With a terrible performance by Phillip Rivers, the Chargers really played down to their opponents today, and they quite frankly deserve to lose. That's all I can say. So we'll show you some stats here. Like I said, I'm not doing the Operation Sports thing anymore, so this is how I'll be showing the stats for each game. Rivers with 1 touchdown and 4 picks. That's just unacceptable. He really needs to sort that out. Melvin Gordon couldn't get anything going on the ground, as is always the case. Michael Floyd had a big game. Probably his best game of the year so far, finding loads of space for Phillip Rivers. Antonio Gates will be back next week. It's only a game injury, so he should be fine. Blocking, meh. Defense, Eric Weddle led the Chargers with tackles. Melvin Ingram got the only 2 sacks of the game for us, and Brandon Flowers got the first pick of the season. Doesn't say a lot for our defense, really. 1 pick all season. Absolutely rubbish. And Manti Te'o didn't make that much of an impact. But anyway, next week we'll be taking on the Jets, who are 4-0. I hope you join us there to see us get smashed. Until then, this has been Brothers in Gaming. Everybody, take care.